There is a unique and profound quiet that can settle over a person in the deep of the night. It is the quiet of feeling that you are simply waiting, not waiting for something exciting, not waiting for a specific event, but just waiting for it all to be over. It's a wait that has no name, a silence that fills the room more than any sound could. It can feel like the most isolating experience in the world, as if you are the only person awake on a planet that has long since fallen asleep. You lie here, and the clock ticks, and the world outside holds its breath, and you are here in the quiet waiting. And the central question that seems to echo in this stillness is, what does one do in this space? When the striving is done, when the looking forward has ceased, what is left? By the end of our time together, you may find that this space of waiting, which feels so much like an ending, can be transformed into a sanctuary of profound peace, a place of deep and sacred rest. And here you are, in this moment. Perhaps it is late where you are, the world outside finally hushed, the last of the day's energy having faded into memory. Or perhaps it is the fragile early hours of morning, when the darkness has not yet given way to the dawn, and sleep feels like a distant, unreachable shore. It doesn't matter what time it is. All that matters is that you have brought yourself here, to this quiet place, to this moment of stillness. This time, right now, is entirely yours. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to fix, and no one you need to be. Let that sink in for a moment. You have permission to simply arrive, exactly as you are, with whatever feelings are present within you. So, let's begin by finding a small measure of comfort for the body. Allow yourself to adjust your position, letting the blankets and pillows support you fully. Feel the weight of your body as it rests against the surface beneath you. Let your arms be heavy, your legs be heavy. Take a slow, gentle breath in, and as you breathe out, imagine you are releasing just one small piece of the day's tension. You don't need to let go of everything at once, just a fraction. Another slow breath in, and a long, soft breath out, letting your shoulders drop just a little further away from your ears. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest or your abdomen with each breath. This simple, quiet rhythm has been with you your entire life, a faithful companion through every joy and every sorrow. Tonight, we will lean on its wisdom. Our intention here is not to fight the feeling of waiting. It is not to argue with it or to convince you that it is wrong. That would be exhausting, and you are tired enough. Instead, our gentle intention for this time together is to see if we can transform this experience of waiting. What if, just for this night, this waiting wasn't a barren, empty room, but a quiet field under a vast and peaceful, starlit sky? What if this stillness wasn't an absence, but a presence of a different kind? We are simply setting an intention to be curious, to be gentle with ourselves, and to find a way to rest within this feeling, rather than struggling against it. There is a profound courage in what you are doing right now. In a world that constantly demands we be productive, hopeful, and forward-looking, you are daring to be still. You are daring to simply be with what is true for you in this moment. This is not weakness. It is a quiet, immense strength. It is the strength to stop running, to stop pretending, and to finally allow yourself the deep, profound rest you so desperately need and deserve. The feeling of waiting for an end can feel like you are holding your breath, suspended in time. So, let's focus on the exhale. With every breath out, give yourself permission to soften. Imagine the tension in your jaw easing, the small muscles around your eyes relaxing. Imagine the tightness in your chest or your stomach loosening its grip, even if only by a tiny amount. Each exhale is an invitation to let go, to sink a little deeper into the support that is holding you. You are held. You are supported. You are safe here in this moment. The world can wait. The future, whatever it may or may not be, can wait. For now, there is only this breath, this quiet room, this gentle intention to find peace right here in the heart of the waiting. You have carried this weight for so long, perhaps without anyone truly understanding its heft. The weariness you feel is not just in your body. It is a soul weariness, a deep exhaustion from the effort of carrying on when the path ahead seems to have disappeared. Tonight, we are going to set that burden down. We will place it gently beside us, not to get rid of it forever, but just to give ourselves a reprieve. Just for this night, you do not have to carry it. Your only task is to allow yourself to be carried, to be held by the stillness, and to let the gentle tide of your own breath rock you toward a state of rest. This space, this feeling, this moment, it is not a mistake. It is not a sign that you have failed. It is a part of the human journey, a landscape that many have walked through in the quiet darkness. And in this shared space, there is no need for anything but gentleness. There is no need for answers or solutions. There is only the need for compassion, for presence, and for the deep, restorative quiet that allows healing to begin in its own time, in its own way. So, let the quiet envelop you like a soft, warm blanket. Let the gentle rhythm of your breathing be your anchor. You have done enough. You have been strong for long enough. Now is the time to rest. Now is the time to simply be. And in this state of being, we will find a peace that does not depend on a future, but exists right here, right now, in the stillness of the waiting. Let's gently turn our awareness toward this feeling, this quiet companion in the dark. We can give it a name, just for our time together. Let's call it the heavy emptiness. It's a feeling that life's story has already been written. It's as if you've read a long and complex book, turned the final page, and closed the cover. And now, you are simply sitting in the quiet room. The story finished. The characters gone. There are other books on the shelf, perhaps, blank pages waiting, but there is no energy, no desire to reach for them. The narrative drive that once pulled you forward through the chapters of your life, it is simply dissolved. It's not a violent ending, but a slow, quiet fading to gray. The future, which once may have felt like an open road stretching toward a vibrant horizon, now feels more like a blank wall at the end of a short hallway. There is no anger at the wall, no desperate need to break through it. There is only a quiet acceptance of its presence. And so you wait. You are not waiting for a new door to appear. You are simply here. And we must acknowledge, with the utmost gentleness, the profound despair that lives within this space. It is a quiet grief. It is the grief for a future that will not be, for a self that you no longer are, for a world that no longer seems to hold a place for you. And tonight, we are not going to try to fix this grief. We are not going to try to reason with it or push it away. Instead, we are going to do something radical. We are going to hold space for it. Imagine this despair as a quiet, somber visitor. It has entered the room of your awareness. It is not demanding or loud. It simply is. And for tonight, we can allow it to be here. We can pull up a chair for it, metaphorically, and let it sit with us in the stillness. There is no need to entertain it, no need to even speak to it. We are simply witnessing its presence. We are acknowledging that it is here and that it has a right to be here, born from the journey you have traveled. This is an act of incredible compassion, to stop fighting, to stop running, and to simply bear witness to your own heart's sorrow. It is a hopelessness that can feel vast and unending, like a calm, gray ocean stretching out in every direction under a sky of matching gray. The sun may be shining somewhere else, but here, in this landscape, there is only this soft, diffuse, and unchanging light. And feeling this way is okay. It makes a quiet, deep kind of sense. You don't need to apologize for it. You don't need to justify it. You are simply allowing what is true to be true. And in this simple, courageous act of allowing, a small measure of peace can be found. Now, let's be curious about where this heavy emptiness lives in your body. This feeling is not just a thought or an idea. It has a physical reality. It has weight. Without searching too hard, without any strain, just gently bring your awareness inward. See if you can notice where this feeling has made its home in your physical self. For many, it settles in the chest, a palpable weight, as if a heavy stone has been placed over the heart. It's not necessarily a sharp pain, but a dense, persistent pressure that makes each breath feel a little more shallow, a little more effortful. There is no need to change this feeling. Just notice it. Acknowledge its presence. There you are. I feel you. For others, this emptiness collects in the pit of the stomach. An ache, a hollowness, a cold knot of quiet dread. It's the feeling that absorbs all energy, that dampens any spark of appetite or enthusiasm. It is the physical anchor of hopelessness. Again, just allow your awareness to rest there gently. You are simply observing, like a kind scientist of your own inner world, noting the sensations without judgment. Or perhaps you feel it as a profound weariness deep in your bones, a tiredness that no amount of sleep seems to touch. It's in your limbs, making them feel like lead. It's in the muscles of your back and shoulders, a constant, dull ache from the effort of carrying this invisible burden through your days. This is the body speaking its truth. It is telling the story of your exhaustion. It is communicating the depth of your emotional state in the only language it knows, the language of sensation. And tonight, we listen. We listen with kindness. We don't demand that the body feel different. We simply acknowledge its report, the weight on the chest, the ache in the stomach, the weariness in the bones. By gently placing your awareness on these physical sensations, you are not making them worse. You are bringing them into the light of your compassion. You are saying to your body, I hear you. I understand why you feel this way. It makes perfect sense. And in this simple act of listening, of witnessing, we stop fighting ourselves. We begin to treat this heavy emptiness not as an enemy to be vanquished, but as a part of our present experience that deserves to be met with tenderness and understanding. This is enough for now. This gentle naming, this quiet witnessing, this compassionate connection to the body, this is the foundation of our rest tonight. As we rest here in this quiet space, allowing the heavy emptiness to be present, let's gently acknowledge what it is made of. This feeling did not appear out of nowhere. It is woven from the threads of experience, from the echoes of a faded future. Allow your mind to drift gently, without forcing anything, to the dreams and hopes that you once held. Think of them not with a sharp sense of loss, but as you might look at old photographs from a distant land you once visited. There was a vision you had for your life, a path you saw stretching out before you. There were plans, small and large, the vacation you were looking forward to, the project you hoped to complete, the relationship you believed would deepen and grow, the person you imagined you would become. These were not just idle fantasies. They were the engines that propelled you forward. They were the stars you navigated by. And somewhere along the journey, one by one, or perhaps all at once, those stars began to fade from the sky. The path became overgrown. The plans dissolved, like sandcastles washed away by a relentless tide. And what is left is this quiet void, this profound stillness where the hum of striving used to be. It is the silence after the music has stopped. For a long time, your life was a symphony of becoming, of reaching, of building. And now, the orchestra has packed up and gone home. What remains is the vast, echoing silence of the concert hall. Tonight, we can gently touch upon the memory of that music without needing it to play again. We can honor the beauty of those dreams, even in their passing. They were real. They were important. They shaped you. The grief you feel is a testament to how much they meant to you. It is a measure of your capacity to love, to hope, and to invest your heart in the future. To feel this emptiness now is not a sign of failure. It is the natural, human echo of a future that has been lost. It is the ghost limb of a hope that was once a vibrant part of you. And in the absence of that striving, a very particular kind of stillness has taken its place. Let's become curious about this stillness. For most of our lives, we are in motion, mentally, emotionally, physically. We are always going somewhere, becoming something, fixing something, planning something. Our minds are a constant buzz of activity. But when the future dissolves, that forward momentum ceases. The engine cuts out. And for the first time, perhaps in a very long time, you find yourself profoundly still. It can be a disorienting stillness, uncomfortable, frightening even. It's like being in a car that was speeding down the highway, and suddenly, it has stopped dead in the middle of an empty desert. The silence is deafening. The lack of movement feels wrong. But what if, just for tonight, we could reimagine this stillness? What if it isn't an ending, but a different state of being altogether? Think of a deep lake in winter, frozen over. On the surface, there is no movement, no ripples, no life. It appears static, lifeless. But beneath the ice, in the deep, cold, dark water, a profound transformation is taking place. Life has not ended. It has simply turned inward. It is gathering its strength in the deep quiet, in the profound stillness. This state of being that you are in right now is not nothingness. It is a deep internal state. It is the stillness that follows when all the frantic activity of looking forward has finally ceased. Time, you 1.5s. And we must, with deep compassion, validate the sheer exhaustion that comes from living inside this feeling. It may seem like a paradox. How can doing nothing, feeling nothing, be so tiring? But it takes an immense amount of energy to exist in this state. It takes energy to get out of bed in the morning when there is no future pulling you forward. It takes energy to go through the motions of a day that feels pointless. It takes energy to hold the heavy emptiness in your body, to carry that weight in your chest, that ache in your stomach. And most of all, it takes a colossal amount of energy to pretend that you are okay, to wear the mask of normality for the world outside. This exhaustion is real. It is valid. You have been running an invisible marathon, day after day, with no finish line in sight. You have been navigating a dense, disorienting fog with a faulty compass and a dwindling map. The tiredness you feel in your bones is not laziness. It is the cumulative effect of a long, arduous, and lonely journey. It is battle fatigue, even though the battle has been silent and internal. So tonight, as you lie here, give yourself permission to feel the full weight of that exhaustion. Let it be as heavy as it needs to be. You don't have to fight it. You don't have to apologize for it. You can simply say to yourself, "Of course I am this tired. It makes perfect sense." Honoring this exhaustion is the first step toward a different kind of rest. A rest that goes deeper than sleep. A rest for the very soul. It is the rest that comes from finally stopping, from laying down the armor and allowing the stillness to hold you just as you are. As you rest here, held in this quiet space, it is so important to understand something in the very marrow of your bones. You are not alone here. This feeling, this heavy emptiness, this sense of waiting for a final end, can feel like the most isolating experience imaginable. It can feel as though a transparent, soundproof wall has descended between you and the rest of the world. You can see others moving, laughing, striving, living, but you cannot feel their world, and they cannot seem to see into yours. It can feel like a profound personal failure, a unique and shameful secret that you carry in the deepest parts of yourself. But I want you to listen to these words and let them sink in as deeply as they can. This existential shore you have washed up on has been visited by countless souls throughout all of human history. Poets, philosophers, saints, and ordinary people living in every century and on every continent have known this landscape. They have known the silence after the music stops. They have known the fading of the stars that once guided them. This is not a strange, new, or alien territory. It is a deeply, profoundly human place. It is a part of the vast and varied map of the human experience. To find yourself here does not mean you are broken. It means you are human. It means you have lived and loved and hoped and lost. Think of it this way. Life is not a steady, upward climb toward ever-increasing happiness. It is more like a journey through changing seasons. There are seasons of spring, full of new growth and vibrant possibility. There are seasons of summer, full of warmth, connection, and flourishing. There are seasons of autumn, with their beautiful, poignant letting go. And then there are seasons of winter, deep winter, a time when the world goes quiet, when life pulls inward, when the landscape appears barren and still. You are in a season of deep winter. And just as a tree is not failing by losing its leaves and standing bare under a gray sky, you are not failing by being in this state. You are in a natural, necessary, albeit painful, season of the soul. And in this season, your feelings are entirely, completely valid. The despair, the hopelessness, the exhaustion, the emptiness. These are not wrong feelings. They are the perfectly natural and appropriate emotional weather for this season of your life. Imagine telling the winter sky that it is wrong for being gray. Imagine telling the frozen earth that it is wrong for being hard and cold. It would be absurd. The sky is gray because it is winter. The earth is cold because it is winter. You feel this way because of what you have been through. Your feelings are a sane and intelligent response to loss, to profound change, or to a deep and abiding weariness. They are a testament to your sensitivity, not a mark of your weakness. Let this be a moment of profound self-acceptance. You have permission to feel exactly as you do. You don't need to change it. You don't need to fix it. You don't need to rush to find hope or positivity. In fact, forcing yourself to feel hopeful right now would be a form of violence against your own soul. It would be like planting seeds in frozen ground. Nothing can grow from that. The only thing that is needed in winter is rest, deep rest, and the quiet, patient trust that this season, like all seasons, will eventually shift in its own time. And with this validation comes the opportunity to gently release the burden of shame. Shame is the quiet, insidious voice that whispers, "You shouldn't be feeling this way. Other people can handle things better. You are weak. You are a failure for not being happy." This voice is a cruel and unjust tyrant. It takes the pain of your experience and adds a layer of self-blame on top of it, making the burden twice as heavy. Tonight, we can gently ask that voice to step aside. We can acknowledge its presence, and then, with kindness, tell it that its services are not needed right now. You can say to yourself, "I release the need to judge myself for my feelings. I let go of any guilt or shame for not feeling hopeful or positive. My feelings are my allies. They are pointing me toward my need for deep rest and gentleness." To feel empty is not a moral failing. To be exhausted is not a character flaw. To have lost sight of the future is not a crime. These are states of being, born of your journey. And in this moment, you are choosing to meet them not with shame, but with a quiet, dignified compassion. You are turning toward yourself with the kindness you would offer a dearest friend who was suffering. Because in this quiet, shared darkness, we are all just walking each other home. And the first step on that journey home is to accept that we are exactly where we are, without judgment, without shame, and with the gentle, reassuring knowledge that we are not and have never been truly alone in this feeling. As you rest in this growing sense of validation, let's turn our attention to the sheer magnitude of the journey that has brought you to this very moment, lying here in the quiet. Let's give you permission to be this tired. It is so easy to forget, in the midst of the heavy emptiness, the incredible strength and endurance it has taken to simply arrive at the end of another day. Think for a moment, not about what you haven't done, but about what you have done. You have woken up day after day and faced a world that feels gray and distant. You have put one foot in front of the other when every step felt like it was through deep, thick mud. You have navigated conversations, fulfilled responsibilities, and held the architecture of your life together, all while carrying an invisible world of sorrow within you. This is not a small thing. This is monumental. This is the quiet heroism that no one sees, that receives no awards or recognition. It is the profound courage of continuing to breathe when you feel you are already gone. It is the resilience of a heart that keeps beating even after it has been broken. Before you can find true rest, you must first honor the warrior within you who has fought so hard for so long. The part of you that has endured. The part of you that has survived. The part of you that has, against all odds, brought you safely to this bed, to this moment of potential peace. Bow your head internally in a gesture of deep respect and gratitude to this incredible strength within you. It deserves to be acknowledged, It deserves to be honored. And when we truly, deeply honor that journey, we can finally affirm a simple, powerful truth. It makes perfect sense that you feel this tired. Let those words wash over you. It makes perfect sense. You are not tired because you are weak. You are not exhausted because you are failing. You are tired because you have been carrying a world. You have been shouldering the weight of lost futures, of quiet griefs, of unspoken disappointments. You have been managing the immense energetic cost of hopelessness. Each day has been a quiet epic, a subtle, draining battle against the gravity of despair. Imagine carrying a heavy, invisible backpack every moment of every day. No one else can see it, so they don't understand why you move so slowly, why you sigh so often, why you have no energy for the things they find so simple. But you feel its weight with every breath. Tonight you have permission to finally set that backpack down. You can acknowledge its true weight, and in doing so, you can understand that your exhaustion is not a mystery to be solved. It is the logical, inevitable result of the load you have been carrying. There is a deep peace in this understanding. It releases you from the struggle of trying to figure out what's wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. You are a human being who has been carrying an impossibly heavy load for a very long time, and you are tired. It is as simple and as profound as that. Let's listen more closely to the wisdom of the body. Your body is not your enemy in this. It is not betraying you with its weariness. In fact, this profound feeling of exhaustion is a form of deep intelligence. It is a communication. Your body, in its infinite wisdom, is sending you a clear and urgent message. It is telling you that it is time to stop. It is a call for a kind of rest that goes far beyond just a few hours of sleep. This is a call for a sacred cellular rest, a rest from striving, a rest from pretending, a rest from holding it all together, a rest from fighting the emptiness. Your body knows what it needs to heal. Just as it knows how to heal a cut or mend a broken bone without any conscious instruction from you, your psyche also has an innate capacity for healing. But that healing cannot happen when you are in a state of constant, low-level stress and resistance. The body's call for deep rest is its way of trying to create the optimal conditions for this inner mending to occur. It is asking you to enter a state of deep surrender, to get out of your own way, and to allow the natural, restorative processes of life to do their quiet work. So, this feeling of being utterly spent is not a curse. It is a sacred invitation. It is your own inner wisdom, speaking through the language of your bones and muscles, guiding you toward exactly what you need. Tonight, you can choose to accept that invitation. You can stop judging your exhaustion and start listening to it. You can reframe it from a problem to be solved into a wise teacher to be honored. As you lie here, feel the depth of this tiredness in every cell. Let it be fully present. And as you feel it, whisper to yourself, I hear you. I understand. I will give you the rest you are asking for. This simple act of alignment, of siding with your body instead of fighting against it, is a profound act of self-love. It is the beginning of a true and lasting peace, a peace that is not dependent on circumstances, but is born from a deep and compassionate relationship with yourself, exactly as you are, in this moment of profound and necessary exhaustion. Now that we have honored the journey and given ourselves permission to be this tired, let's take the next gentle step. This step involves a radical kind of surrender. It is the act of letting the emptiness be. For so long, your instinct and the instinct of the world around you has been to fight this feeling, to fill it, to fix it, to run from it. We are taught that emptiness is a vacuum that must be immediately filled with purpose, with activity, with hope, with positivity. We treat it like a sickness to be cured. This fight, this constant resistance, is one of the primary sources of your exhaustion. It is like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. It takes a tremendous constant effort, and the moment you relax your guard, it rushes back to the surface. What if, just for tonight, we stopped pushing the ball down? What if we just let it float on the surface beside us? Give yourself full and complete permission to stop fighting the emptiness. You don't have to like it. You don't have to approve of it. You are simply withdrawing your energy from the battle against it. Imagine you are a soldier who has been fighting a long, wearying war on a vast gray plain. You have been fighting for so long, you've forgotten what you were even fighting for. All you know is the exhaustion of the struggle. Tonight, you are laying down your weapons. You are taking off your heavy armor. You are simply sitting down on the quiet earth of the battlefield and allowing the war to be over, at least within yourself. The landscape may not change. The gray sky may still be overhead, but you are no longer at war with it. This is the release, the profound relief of ceasing the internal struggle. Let's become curious about what actually happens when we practice this allowing. When you just allow the feeling to be here, without trying to change it, something remarkable occurs. You begin to see that the feeling itself is not the primary source of your suffering. The suffering comes from the resistance to the feeling. The feeling itself, when you observe it without judgment, is just a collection of sensations and thoughts. It is like a quiet, gray cloud moving through the vast, open sky of your awareness. When you fight the cloud, you create a storm. You add wind and rain and lightning to it. But when you simply allow the cloud to be there, to drift at its own pace, you realize that you are not the cloud. You are the sky. The sky is not harmed by the cloud. The sky is not defined by the cloud. The sky simply holds the cloud in its vast, peaceful, and unchanging embrace. Tonight, you can practice being the sky. The heavy emptiness is the cloud. It is present. It is real, but it is not the totality of who you are. You are the awareness that is noticing the cloud, and by allowing it to be, you create a space between you and the feeling. In that space, there is peace. In that space, there is breath. In that space, you can finally rest. This doesn't mean the cloud will instantly disappear. It may stay for a while, but your relationship to it has fundamentally changed. You are no longer struggling under it, but observing it from a place of quiet strength and stillness. You are allowing it to be a part of the weather of this moment, without believing it is the whole climate forever. Let's use another analogy to help this settle in. Think of this feeling of emptiness as a quiet, empty room inside your house. For a long time, you have been terrified of this room. You've kept the door locked. You've avoided even walking past it in the hallway. Or perhaps you've been frantically trying to furnish it, running around, trying to find things to fill it up so it won't feel so empty. A new hobby, a new goal, a forced sense of hope. But nothing seems to fit. The room just swallows up the furniture, and soon it feels empty all over again. The effort is exhausting. Tonight, we are going to try something different. We are going to gently unlock the door to that room. We are going to open it. and we are simply going to sit on the threshold. We don't need to go all the way in. We just need to stop being afraid of it. We can look into its stillness. We can feel its quiet air. We don't need to furnish it. We don't need to paint the walls or hang pictures. We can just let the empty room be an empty room. There is a strange kind of peace in this. When you stop fighting to fill the space, you can begin to appreciate its quality of stillness, its silence, its potential. An empty room is not a bad thing. It is simply a space that is not cluttered. It is a space where there is room to breathe. By allowing the emptiness, you are not giving up. You are not resigning yourself to a life of despair. You are simply stopping the frantic, exhausting work of resisting what is. You are conserving your precious energy. You are creating the conditions for a deep, profound rest. In the quiet acceptance of the empty room, you may find that it is not a terrifying void after all. It is simply a sanctuary of silence, a place free from the noise and pressure of the world. And in that sanctuary, your soul can finally begin to heal. As we sit here, allowing the emptiness to just be, we can now take another important step in our journey toward deep rest. We can begin to gently lay down the burden of purpose. In our culture, this is perhaps one of the heaviest burdens we are asked to carry. From a very young age, we are taught that our lives must have a purpose, a direction, a goal. We are constantly asked, what do you want to be? What are you going to do? What is your 5-year plan? Our value as human beings often feels directly tied to our ability to answer these questions, to have a future that we are actively building. This immense pressure to have something to look forward to becomes a source of profound suffering when the future itself has become a blank wall. The feeling that you have no purpose can feel like a fundamental failure, a sign that your life is meaningless. But what if this need for a grand purpose is a story we've been told, rather than an essential truth of existence? What if the constant striving for a future, any future, is actually preventing us from finding peace in the only moment we ever truly have, which is right now? Tonight, you have permission to let go of this immense pressure. You can gently release the need to have a new purpose. You can let go of the exhausting search for something new to look forward to. You are not giving up on life. You are simply giving up the struggle. You are stepping off the relentless treadmill of becoming and allowing yourself to simply be. Imagine you have been on a long, arduous hike, carrying a map that you believed showed the path to a beautiful summit. But the trail has disappeared. The landmarks are all wrong, and a thick fog has rolled in. You are lost. For a long time, you have been frantically studying the useless map, trying to force a path, growing more and more anxious and exhausted. Laying down the burden of purpose is like finally accepting that the map is no good. You gently fold it up, put it away, and simply sit down on a rock. You stop trying to get to the summit. You stop trying to find the path. You just sit. In this act of surrender, a new kind of awareness can emerge. You might notice the feeling of the cool air on your skin. You might hear the sound of a hidden bird in the fog. You might feel the solid, reassuring presence of the earth beneath you. In letting go of the future destination, you arrive fully in your present location. And you realize that just being here in this moment is enough. There is a profound freedom in this not knowing. The pressure to have all the answers, to know what's next, is a heavy weight. When you finally give yourself permission to say, I don't know, it can feel like a great exhale. I don't know what my purpose is anymore. I don't know what I'm looking forward to. I don't know what the next chapter of my life will look like. And for tonight, that is perfectly okay. In fact, it is more than okay. It is a sacred state. The mind, which loves certainty and control, will find this terrifying. But the soul, which thrives in mystery and presence, finds deep relief in the release of this burden. Not knowing is not a void. It is a space of pure potential. It is the fertile darkness of the soil before the seed has sprouted. When you are no longer clinging to an old, outdated map of the future, you become open to new possibilities that you could never have imagined or planned for. You are not forcing a direction. You are allowing a direction to emerge in its own time. But we are not even concerned with that tonight. Tonight, we are simply savoring the relief of the not knowing itself, the freedom from the need to have it all figured out. You don't have to know what is next. You don't have to. Let that sink into your bones. It is a revolutionary act of self-kindness to release yourself from this obligation. So let's ground this in a simple, powerful affirmation. Let it be the only truth that matters for this period of rest. Tonight, my only task is to breathe. That's it. That is the entirety of your purpose for this moment. Not to heal, not to figure things out, not to find hope. Simply to be here and to allow your body to breathe. Feel the breath as it enters your body and feel it as it leaves. This simple, gentle rhythm is your anchor in the ocean of not knowing. Each breath is a small, perfect act of being. It requires no future. It asks for no past. It exists completely and wholly in the present moment. Whenever your mind tries to pull you back into the panic of purposelessness, gently guide it back to this affirmation. My only task is to breathe. You can even feel the truth of it in your body. Your heart does not need a 5-year plan to keep beating. Your lungs do not need a reason to look forward to in order to draw the next breath. Your body is a masterpiece of presence, constantly engaged in the simple, miraculous purpose of being alive in this moment. By aligning your mind with this simple truth, you are coming home to the most fundamental purpose of all, the purpose of existence itself. And in this homecoming, you will find a quiet, unshakable peace that no future goal can ever provide. Your being is enough. This breath is enough. This moment is enough. Having laid down the heavy burden of purpose, we can now begin a gentle shift in perspective, a subtle but profound reframing. We can start to move from the feeling of waiting for to the experience of simply being. The word waiting itself is so loaded. It implies a state of incompleteness. When we wait, we are in a kind of limbo, a tense and uncomfortable in-between state. We are waiting for the doctor's call, waiting for the bus to arrive, waiting for the pain to stop. Waiting is always directed toward a future outcome. Our present moment becomes devalued, a mere obstacle to be endured until the thing we are waiting for finally happens. This is the energy of waiting to die. It dismisses the present entirely in anticipation of a final end. But what if we could gently separate the act of waiting from the expectation of an outcome? What if we could redefine it? What if waiting could simply mean being still, without any future orientation at all? Consider the state of a massive ancient stone in a quiet forest. It is not waiting for anything. It is not impatient for the seasons to change or for the trees around it to grow or fall. It is not striving to become a different, better stone. It is simply, profoundly being a stone. It is present in its own immense, silent, and dignified stillness. It is embodying its stoneness in every moment. What if, for this night, you could borrow that quality of being? To rest here, not as a person waiting for an end, but as a being who is simply present, embodying your own quiet existence, just as a stone embodies its own. To help us deepen this understanding, let's explore the analogy of the winter tree. We touched on it briefly before, but let's go deeper now. Imagine a great old oak tree in the heart of deep winter. Its branches are bare, skeletal fingers, reaching into a cold, gray sky. There are no leaves, no blossoms, no signs of outward life or productivity. To a casual observer, it might look dead, or at the very least, like it is waiting for death. But we know better. We know that this tree is not dead. And just as importantly, it is not waiting for spring. The tree is not in a state of anxious anticipation. It is not checking a calendar, counting the days until the sun returns. The tree is fully and completely engaged in the sacred, necessary state of being winter. Its energy has drawn down, deep into its roots, into the dark, quiet earth. It is in a state of profound, restorative dormancy. It is gathering its strength, consolidating its resources, and undergoing a quiet, invisible process of renewal. This stillness, this bareness, is not a void. It is a vital and active phase of its life cycle. The tree's purpose in this season is not to grow, but to be still. Its purpose is to rest. This state of being is not a means to an end. It is a whole and complete destination in itself. Can you feel how this applies to you? You are in your own season of deep winter. The outward signs of growth and productivity may have fallen away, like the leaves of the oak, and you may feel bare, exposed, and still, but you are not dead. And perhaps you can release the idea that you are just waiting for your spring to arrive. Perhaps you can allow yourself to fully inhabit this season of your soul, to draw your energy inward, to honor your need for deep, restorative dormancy. This period of life is not an inconvenient delay before the real story begins again. This is a crucial chapter of the story. It is the chapter where you learn the profound wisdom of stillness. It is the chapter where you gather your strength in the dark, quiet earth of your own being. This allows us to reframe the entire experience. This profound pause is not an endpoint. It is not a sign that the book of your life is over. It is a sacred stillness. It is a fallow period. Farmers know that a field cannot produce crops year after year without a period of rest. The field must be allowed to lie fallow, to rest under the sun and the rain, to replenish its nutrients and restore its vitality. To force it to produce constantly would be to destroy it. Your soul is like that field. You have been producing for a very long time, producing hope, producing effort, producing resilience. And now, your soul is demanding a fallow season. This feeling of emptiness, this lack of desire to move forward, is not a pathology. It is the wisdom of your inner ecosystem, insisting on the rest it needs to ensure future life. By reframing this time as a sacred pause rather than a terminal waiting period, you shift your relationship to it. You move from being a victim of it to a participant in it. You are not being punished with emptiness. You are being gifted with a period of profound, healing rest. It may not feel like a gift right now, and that's okay. But by simply holding this new perspective as a possibility, you open a small window in the locked room, allowing a little fresh air and a different quality of light to enter. You are no longer just waiting to die. You are, like the ancient stone, the winter tree, and the fallow field, engaged in the holy and essential act of simply being. As we settle into this new understanding of stillness as a sacred state of being, let's go one step further. Let's look directly at the emptiness itself and see if we can perceive it differently. Our minds have a powerful, conditioned reflex to fear emptiness. We call it a void, a lack, a nothingness. These words are heavy with dread and negativity. They imply that something essential is missing, that we are incomplete or broken. But this is just one interpretation, one story that our minds tell. What if we could gently set that story aside and look at the raw experience with fresh eyes? What if we could reimagine this emptiness not as a lack, but as pure, open space? Imagine standing in the middle of a vast, silent field at night, under a sky overflowing with stars. There is an immense sense of space all around you. Above you, the boundless dark of the cosmos. Around you, the wide, open land stretching to a distant horizon. Is this space empty? In one sense, yes. It is empty of buildings, of noise, of people, of clutter. But in another, more profound sense, it is absolutely full. It is full of silence. It is full of peace. It is full of the cool night air and the soft, distant light of a billion stars. It is full of potential. The emptiness is not a terrifying void. It is a majestic and peaceful openness. This quiet space inside you is like that field. It may feel empty of your old hopes, your old plans, your old identity. The familiar furniture of your inner world has been removed. But in its place is this vast, quiet, open space. Can you feel into that? Can you sense the quality of this inner spaciousness, not as a loss, but as a presence in its own right? It is the silence between the notes that makes the music beautiful. It is the white space on the page that allows the words to have meaning. This inner space, this emptiness, is what allows your true being to finally have room to breathe, free from the clutter of constant striving. And in this open space, we can discover something truly remarkable, the quiet peace that exists in the absence of striving. For most of our lives, our inner world is a noisy, crowded place. It is filled with the clamor of wanting, of needing, of desiring. I want to be happier. I need to achieve that goal. I wish I had a different life. This constant wanting, this striving, creates a background hum of tension and dissatisfaction. It is a subtle, pervasive state of not enough. We are always leaning into the future, hoping the next moment, the next achievement, the next relationship will finally bring us the peace we crave. But it never quite does, because the striving itself is the source of the restlessness. When you are in this state of heavy emptiness, something radical has happened. The engine of wanting has shut down. The striving has ceased. The noise of becoming has finally faded. And what is left in its wake? Silence. Stillness. And in that stillness, a new kind of peace can be found. It is not the excited, happy peace of getting what you want. It is a much deeper, more stable peace. It is the peace of no longer wanting anything at all. It is the profound relief of having no agenda, no goal, and nothing to prove. It is the peace of the winter tree, which does not want to be in summer. It is the peace of the fallow field, which does not wish it were harvest time. It is the peace of simply being, without the exhausting overlay of wanting to be somewhere else. This is a very subtle but incredibly profound realization. The absence of hope for the future has, as a side effect, liberated you from the anxiety of the future. The absence of desire has freed you from the suffering of wanting. You have, perhaps for the first time in your adult life, been released from the tyranny of what's next. You are floating in the vast, quiet ocean of the present moment. And while it may feel unfamiliar and disorienting at first, if you relax into it, you can begin to feel its deep, underlying tranquility. This is not a fragile peace that depends on things going your way. It is a robust, unconditional peace that is always available, right here, underneath the noise of our striving minds. So let this affirmation settle into your heart tonight. This quiet inside me is not a void, it is a sanctuary. A sanctuary is a holy place, a place of refuge and safety. It is a place where you can be free from persecution, from pressure, from the demands of the outside world. This inner space, this emptiness, can become your sanctuary. It is a space where you are free from the demand to be hopeful, free from the pressure to have a purpose, free from the exhausting work of pretending. It is a quiet, sacred room within you where you can simply be without any conditions or expectations. When you begin to relate to your inner world in this way, the fear of the emptiness dissolves, and in its place, a sense of gratitude can begin to emerge. Gratitude for the silence, gratitude for the stillness, gratitude for this sacred open space where you can finally, truly, deeply rest. As we rest in this sanctuary of inner quiet, let's gently bring our awareness to a source of strength that has been with us all along, a strength that persists even in the deepest stillness. Let's reconnect with the quiet, formidable resilience of your own heart. Without any strain, simply bring your attention to the area of your chest. You don't need to feel for a pulse or analyze anything. Just rest your awareness in that space. And deep within that space, there is a rhythm, a steady, faithful, quiet beat. Thump, 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 thump. It has been with you every single second of your life. Before you were born, this rhythm began. Through every joy, every triumph, every moment of laughter, it was there. And through every sorrow, every loss, every night of tears, it has been there. It has never once abandoned you. This heartbeat is the drum of your survival. It is the physical embodiment of your life force. When your mind is filled with despair and telling you that everything is over, this quiet, persistent rhythm in your chest tells a different story. It says, I am still here. I continue. I endure. This is not a thought or an idea. It is a physical, undeniable truth. The very fact that you can feel this beat, however faintly, is a testament to a strength within you that is deeper than any mood, deeper than any story of hopelessness. It is the strength of life itself, expressing itself through you. Tonight, as you lie here, you can lean on this rhythm. Let it be your anchor. When waves of despair or emptiness wash over you, bring your awareness back to this steady, quiet beat. It is the most honest and reliable thing in your entire experience. It asks nothing of you. It does not require you to be hopeful or strong in your mind. It is simply strong for you. It carries on, a faithful and tireless servant, keeping the flame of your life lit in the deepest, darkest winter. Allow a sense of quiet gratitude to arise for this incredible, resilient organ. It is the engine of your being, and it is the ultimate proof that even when you feel you have no strength left, there is a profound strength that continues to carry you. Now, let's expand this awareness to acknowledge the totality of your survival. Take a moment to gently reflect on the path you have walked to get to this night. Think of the challenges you have faced, the pain you have endured, the disappointments you have weathered. Think of the quiet battles you have fought that no one else has ever known about. The fact that you are here now, breathing in this bed, is a miracle of resilience. You have navigated an emotional landscape that would have broken many, and yet you are still here. Your body is still breathing. Your heart is still beating. You have survived. We often mistake strength for feeling powerful, for being victorious, for being happy and in control. But there is a much deeper, quieter kind of strength. It is the strength of endurance. It is the strength to simply persist. It is the strength to get up one more time than you have been knocked down. This is the kind of strength you possess in abundance. It may not feel glamorous. It may not feel heroic. But it is the most fundamental and awe-inspiring strength of all. It is the strength of the weed that grows through a crack in the concrete. It is the strength of the small blade of grass that bends in the storm but does not break. You have this strength. You are living proof of it. So, let's hold this affirmation in our minds, allowing it to counter the old stories of weakness or failure. The courage it takes to simply exist with this feeling is immeasurable. Let that land. What you are doing is an act of immense courage. It takes far more courage to stay present with profound despair than it does to pursue a happy dream. It takes a warrior's spirit to face the emptiness day after day without turning away. You are not weak for feeling this way. You are incredibly, unbelievably strong for being able to bear it. By acknowledging this, you begin to change your inner narrative. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of your feelings and start seeing yourself as a quiet, dignified survivor. You are not defined by the pain. You are defined by the fact that you are still here in spite of the pain. This recognition of your own resilience is not about puffing yourself up or creating a false sense of pride. It is about seeing the truth. It is about looking at your experience with clear, compassionate eyes and acknowledging the profound strength that is inherent in your very existence right now. Rest in this knowing. Rest in the steady rhythm of your own heart. Rest in the quiet, unshakable dignity of your own survival. This strength is not something you need to go out and find. It is already here. It is what has carried you to this very moment, and it is what will continue to carry you, one quiet heartbeat, one gentle breath at a time. Having connected with the deep, quiet strength of your own survival, let's now learn how to inhabit this moment, and in doing so, discover the sacred art of simply being. So much of our suffering comes from our minds living in one of two places: the past, with its regrets and sorrows, or the future, with its anxieties and, in this case, its apparent blankness. The present moment is the only place we ever truly live, yet it's the one place we rarely are. Tonight, we can practice coming home to the present, not as a mental exercise, but as a deep, physical experience. This is the art of discovering presence. It begins with the body. The body is always in the present moment. It does not know yesterday or tomorrow. It only knows right now. So, let's gently guide our awareness to the simple physical sensations that are available to you in this very moment. Start with the feeling of the weight of your body. Notice the points of contact between you and the surface beneath you. Feel the gentle pressure at your heels, your calves, the backs of your thighs, your shoulders, the back of your head. There is a solidity here, a sense of being held and supported. You don't have to imagine it. You can actually feel it. This sensation of being supported is happening right now. It is real. Let your awareness rest in that feeling. You are being held. You can let go. You can trust this support. Now, bring your attention to the feeling of the air on your skin. Perhaps you can feel a subtle coolness on your face or your hands. Notice the gentle touch of the blankets or sheets against your body. Is the fabric soft? Is it heavy or light? These are not small, insignificant details. They are the texture of the present moment. They are doorways out of the storytelling mind and into the reality of direct experience. There is no story in the feeling of a soft blanket. There is no despair in the coolness of the air. There is only the simple, peaceful isness of the sensation itself. By resting your attention here, you are anchoring yourself in the calm harbor of the now. This practice gently reveals the inherent dignity and completeness of the present moment. We have been taught that a moment is only valuable if it is leading to a better future moment. A moment of work is valuable because it leads to a paycheck. A moment of exercise is valuable because it leads to better health. But what about a moment that is not leading anywhere? Our mind calls it pointless. But this is a profound misunderstanding. This moment, right here, exactly as it is, needs no future to validate it. Its meaning is not in what it leads to. Its meaning is inherent in its own existence. Think of a single, perfect note of music hanging in the air. Its beauty is not in the note that will follow it. Its beauty is entirely contained within itself, in its own vibration, its own tone, its own brief, glorious existence. This moment is like that note of music. It is complete. It is whole. It lacks nothing. The feeling of the breath entering your lungs, the sensation of the blanket on your skin, the quiet hum of the room. This is the symphony of the present moment. And it is entirely, perfectly whole, exactly as it is. It is not a waiting room for the future. It is the destination itself. By learning to rest in the present moment, you discover that the peace you were hoping the future would bring is actually available to you right here, right now, in the simple art of being. Let's use one more analogy to feel this more deeply. Imagine your mind is like the surface of the ocean. On many days, the surface is turbulent, choppy with the waves of thought, emotion, planning, and worrying. This is the state we are most familiar with. But the ocean is not just its surface. If you could sink beneath the waves, just a few feet down, you would find that the water becomes calmer. And if you could sink deeper, to the vast, silent depths of the ocean, you would find a place of profound stillness and peace. The storms may rage on the surface, but the depths remain undisturbed. This deep, silent, peaceful place exists within you right now. It is your own depth of pure being. The turbulent surface is your thinking mind, caught up in stories of emptiness and despair. But you are not just your thoughts. You are the vast, deep ocean of awareness beneath them. The practice of bringing your attention to your physical senses, to your breath, to the weight of your body, is like allowing yourself to sink beneath the stormy surface. You are letting go of the waves of thought and gently descending into the quiet, peaceful presence of your own being. In this deep place, there is no waiting. There is no future. There is no past. There is only a vast, silent, and deeply peaceful stillness. This is your true home, and you can return to it anytime you wish, simply by shifting your attention from the noise of your mind to the quiet truth of your body, right here, in this complete and perfect moment. As we rest in this deep, quiet ocean of presence, we can begin to gently weave these new understandings into the fabric of our being, allowing wisdom to blossom from our rest. This is the process of integration, of allowing these gentle shifts in perspective to become a part of you. The most profound insight we have uncovered is this: your worth is not measured by your future. Let this truth settle deep into your bones. For your entire life, you have likely been conditioned to believe the opposite. You have been taught that your value comes from your potential, your productivity, your ambition, your ability to create a successful and happy future. And so, when the future seemed to vanish, it was natural to feel that your own worth had vanished along with it. But we are now discovering a deeper, more unconditional truth. Your worth is inherent in your being, right here, right now. It is not something you have to earn. It is not something you can lose. It is as fundamental to you as your own breath. The winter oak is not less worthy than the summer oak. It is simply in a different season of its being. Its worth is in its existence, in its deep-rootedness, in its quiet strength against the winter sky. Your worth, too, is in your existence. It is in the simple, miraculous fact that you are here, breathing, a unique and unrepeatable expression of life itself. To truly absorb this is to be liberated from the heaviest burden of all, the burden of having to prove your own value. You don't have to. Your being is its own proof. Your existence is its own justification. And from this place of inherent worth, we can do something that might seem surprising. We can turn and offer a quiet word of thanks to this feeling of emptiness. This may sound strange. Why would we thank a feeling that has caused so much pain? But think of it this way. The emptiness, in its own difficult and challenging way, has been a profound teacher. It has been a fierce and unrelenting guide, forcing you off the well-trodden path of striving and into the unexplored territory of being. Without this experience, you might have spent your entire life on the surface of the ocean, caught in the turbulent waves of wanting and planning, never discovering the silent, peaceful depths within you. This feeling of emptiness has taught you things that happiness never could. It has taught you the profound peace of the present moment. It has taught you to release the burden of purpose and to find freedom in not knowing. It has revealed the unconditional strength of your own heart and the quiet dignity of your survival. It has been the catalyst for this entire journey inward, a journey that is leading you to a more stable and authentic foundation for your life. So, without forcing anything, see if you can feel a small sense of gratitude. Thank you, emptiness, for forcing me to stop. Thank you for showing me that my worth is not in my future. Thank you for teaching me the sacred art of being. This is not about celebrating the pain. It is about honoring the wisdom that has been forged within it. This leads us to a new set of affirmations. Affirmations born not of wishful thinking, but of the deep truths we have uncovered together. Let these words be a gentle mantra that you can carry with you into sleep. The first is, my being is my purpose. Say it quietly to yourself. Feel its truth. Your purpose is not something you do. It is something you are. To exist, to breathe, to feel, to be aware. This is the fundamental purpose from which all other smaller purposes might one day arise. But for now, this is more than enough. My being is my purpose. The second affirmation is, my breath is my anchor. This is your practical tool. Whenever you feel lost in the storms of thought or despair, you always have a place to return. Your breath. It is the physical sensation that connects you to the present moment, to the deep, quiet ocean of your being. It is the steady, reliable anchor that can hold you fast in any emotional weather. My breath is my anchor. And the final affirmation is, this moment is whole. This is the ultimate truth that frees you from the tyranny of past and future. This moment, right here, with its quietness, with its sensations, with its stillness, is not a broken fragment of a larger, better life. It is complete. It lacks nothing. It is a destination in itself. Resting in the wholeness of this moment, you find that there is nowhere else you need to be, and nothing else you need to become. This moment is whole. Weave these 3 threads of wisdom together. My being is my purpose. My breath is my anchor. This moment is whole. This is the wisdom of the winter, the teaching of the sacred pause. It is a peace that is not dependent on circumstances changing, but on your relationship to the present moment changing. And that is a power that can never be taken away from you. With this wisdom woven into our hearts, we can now gently prepare for the final surrender of the day. We can begin to frame sleep not as an escape, not as a desperate flight from the emptiness, but as the ultimate act of being and a sacred surrender to the present. For a long time, sleep may have felt like a battleground, a place of tossing and turning, of a mind that refuses to quiet down, of a desperate yearning for oblivion that remains just out of reach. We often approach sleep as another task to be accomplished, another goal to be achieved. I must fall asleep. This very striving creates a tension that is the enemy of rest. Tonight, let's approach it differently. Sleep is not something you do. It is something you allow. It is a natural process of letting go, a gentle descent into the deepest layers of your being. Think of sleep as the final and most profound expression of the sacred art of being. All day, you have been engaged in some way with the world of doing. But now, all doing ceases. Sleep is the ultimate trust fall. You are trusting the world to continue without your supervision. You are trusting your body to continue its wise rhythms of breathing and beating. You are surrendering your conscious, controlling mind to the vast, mysterious, and healing intelligence of the unconscious. It is the final laying down of all burdens, including the burden of consciousness itself. Seen this way, sleep becomes not a struggle, but a welcome homecoming, a deep and sacred rest. To help facilitate this surrender, let's begin a gentle scan of the body, inviting every muscle to release its hold, to trust the support that lies beneath it. Bring your awareness, without any strain, to your feet and your toes. You don't need to do anything to them. Simply notice them. And then, silently, give them permission to soften. Imagine all the tension from standing and walking, all the forward momentum of your day, just draining out through the soles of your feet, leaving them heavy, warm, and deeply relaxed. Now, allow this wave of gentle release to move up into your ankles, your calves, and your shins. These are the muscles that carry you through the world. They have worked so hard. Now, their work is done. Let them go completely limp. Feel their weight sinking down, surrendering to gravity. Let the relaxation flow up into your knees and your thighs, these large, powerful muscles. Let go of any bracing, any holding. Feel them become soft, heavy, and still. Your legs have carried you here to this place of rest. You can thank them and allow them to be completely at ease. Bring your awareness to your hips, your pelvis, and your lower back. This is an area where we often hold so much deep tension, the stress of holding ourselves up, of being responsible. Tonight you can let that go. Imagine the muscles of your lower back spreading and releasing, sinking down into the surface beneath you. Let your abdomen be soft. Release any clenching in your stomach. Allow this entire area to become heavy and warm. You are safe. You are supported. You can let go. Now, feel this gentle wave of softening move up your spine, vertebra by vertebra. Let it spread across your back and into your shoulders. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears, releasing the weight of all you have been carrying. Let your arms be heavy and lifeless, from your shoulders all the way down to the tips of your fingers. There is nothing more for you to hold on to. Finally, bring this gentle attention to your neck, your jaw, and your face. Let your jaw hang slack. Let your tongue rest gently in your mouth. Allow the tiny muscles around your eyes to smooth out and release. Soften your forehead. Imagine your entire scalp relaxing. Let go of the mask you have worn for the world. Let your face be completely soft, peaceful, and at rest. Your entire body is now invited into a state of deep release, heavy, warm, and still, sinking gently, peacefully, into the support that is holding you. As your body softens, let your mind follow. Let go of all that has been and all that might be. Release the day that has passed. You don't need to review it, to analyze it, or to judge it. It is over. It is complete. Let its memories dissolve like clouds in the sky, and release the day that is to come. You don't need to plan for it, to worry about it, or to anticipate it. It will arrive in its own time. For now, it is just a distant possibility. Leave it there. Let go of all thoughts, all stories, all concerns, leaving only the soft, simple reality of this breath, in this body, in this moment. There is nothing else. Just this, and this is peace. Now, as your body rests in this deep state of release, allow your awareness to merge completely with the simple, automatic, and peaceful rhythm of your own breathing. There is nothing more to do, nothing to figure out. The final stage of this journey into rest is one of gentle, effortless observation. Your breath is the gentlest of waves, rising and falling on the shore of your being. Feel the coolness of the air as it enters your nostrils, a quiet, gentle filling, and then the release, the slight warmth of the air as it leaves your body, a soft, complete emptying. There is no need to change your breathing in any way. Do not try to make it deeper or slower. Simply allow it to be whatever it is. Your body has been breathing perfectly its entire life without any conscious help from you. Trust its ancient wisdom. Your only task is to become the passenger, to ride these gentle waves. Let your awareness become absorbed in this simple rhythm. With each inhale, you are receiving the gift of life, quietly and without effort. With each exhale, you are letting go, surrendering, releasing into the stillness, in and out, rising and falling. A quiet, endless, peaceful rhythm. This rhythm is the lullaby of your own body, singing you gently toward the shores of sleep. As you focus on this gentle motion, the thoughts of your mind may begin to seem more and more distant, like the sounds of a city fading away as you travel deeper into the quiet countryside. Let's allow the language of our inner world to deepen now, to become softer and more fluid. Let's use words that encourage the final letting go of conscious control. Imagine that with every breath out, you are drifting on a calm, quiet river at twilight. The current is gentle, and it is carrying you effortlessly toward a vast, peaceful sea. You don't need to row. You don't need to steer. You simply need to lie back and allow the gentle current of your own breath to carry you, drifting, floating, letting go. Feel yourself floating now. Your body is light, buoyant. The weight that you felt earlier has transformed into a feeling of weightlessness. You are floating in a warm, dark, and comfortable space. It is a space of perfect safety and peace. There is nothing to hold on to. There is nothing to push against. Just the gentle sensation of floating in this vast, quiet, and benevolent darkness. Your mind can let go of its sharp edges, its worries, and its plans, and simply dissolve into this feeling of being held, of floating in this peaceful immensity. Now, feel yourself sinking in the most pleasant and comforting way imaginable, like a single, soft feather, sinking slowly, gently, down through layers of deep, soft silence, sinking past the layer of the day's memories, sinking past the layer of worries about tomorrow, sinking deeper and deeper into the heart of stillness, into the core of your own peaceful being. Each exhale allows you to sink just a little bit further into a more profound state of relaxation and release, sinking deeper and deeper into perfect, effortless rest. Finally, feel yourself dissolving. The sense of a solid boundary around your body begins to soften and blur. The line between where you end and where the peaceful darkness begins becomes less distinct. You are dissolving into the stillness, dissolving into the peace. Your awareness is like a drop of ink falling into a vast glass of clear water, spreading out, becoming one with the whole. All effort is gone. All sense of a separate self who is trying to fall asleep is gently dissolving into the background. There is only breathing. There is only stillness. There is only peace. Let's use one final image to carry you across the threshold. Your awareness is a small, empty boat, gently rocking on the calm, dark waters of a vast, moonless lake. The lake is perfectly still, reflecting a sky with no stars. It is a universe of pure, quiet darkness. The gentle rocking is the rhythm of your own breath, rocking you gently, gently, into sleep. There is no destination. There is no shorter reach. The journey itself is the rest. The gentle rocking is the peace. Allow the boat of your awareness to rock and drift and float on the calm, dark waters of oncoming sleep. The time for thinking is over. The time for doing is over. Now is the time for simply being carried. Allow yourself to be carried now into the deep, healing, and restorative silence of the night. There is nothing more to do now. Nothing to figure out. The great questions of life and purpose can rest now. They will be there tomorrow if they are needed. But tonight, they are like distant mountains, sleeping under a blanket of stars. Their weight is gone. Their urgency has faded. All that is left is the soft whisper of this moment. Just allow. Allow the quiet to hold you. Allow the darkness to be a comfort, a safe and gentle blanket. Allow rest to find you. It knows the way. It is coming now, not as something you must grasp, but as a tide that gently rises to meet you. Sleep is coming now, gently, naturally, like the slow setting of the moon. There is no effort in it. There is no rush. It is the most natural thing in the world. A return to the source. A deep, healing surrender. Rest now. Who are we when all the striving stops? When the stories we tell ourselves about who we are and where we are going finally fall silent? Perhaps in this profound stillness, we touch something more real, more fundamental than any identity or purpose. Perhaps this quiet beingness is not a void, but our truest nature. A silent awareness that needs nothing, that wants for nothing, that is simply present to the miracle of its own existence. What if the seasons of winter in our souls are not problems to be solved, but sacred mysteries to be inhabited? What if they are the times when the soil of our being is enriched in ways we cannot comprehend, preparing for a kind of spring we can't yet imagine? We may never know the answers. And perhaps the deepest peace comes from realizing we don't have to. The tree does not need to understand the biochemistry of its dormancy to trust in the process. It simply surrenders to the season it is in. Tonight, you have surrendered. You have honored the journey. You have laid down your burdens, and you have found a sanctuary in the heart of the present moment. This is a profound and healing act. This is the deepest kind of rest. Allow the silence to grow now, to fill all the spaces between these words. Let it be the final lullaby. Let it carry you into a sleep that is deep, restorative, and profoundly peaceful. Just be. Rest now.